Hello and welcome to the 15th annual LD Micro main event here at the Lux in Los Angeles. I'm joined by John Lai, CEI of PetVivo Holdings, ticker symbol PETV on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange. John, thank you so much for joining us here today and sharing your story. We'd like to go ahead and start by allowing you to tell our audience and a community a little bit more about the company.
Sure. So we developed a protein particle matrix that mimics cartilage and tissue. We were funded by the National Institute of Health, about $8 million, so the science is peer-reviewed.
Wow.
So when I joined the company, I wanted to take it into the animal health side because we got the unique designation by the FDA as a medical device.
Wow.
Which is
difficult.
Quite difficult. So that means we can actually go and start selling into the human market for just going a 510K or a PMA.
Wow.
But because the technology is so disruptive, I wanted it in the animal side first. So these particles have multiple applications in the companion animal space as well as the human. So the first product is called Spring with OsteoCushion technology.
That's a mouthful.
So, yeah, that's why you have a branding company.
Exactly.
So what the product does is it's a very disruptive, innovative product as an effective tool in the management of osteoarthritis, joint afflictions, lameness, and rehab for dogs, horses, and the cat product will be hitting the market within 6 months.
Wow.
So we went on NASDAQ August of 2021, and since then, we have put the pieces together and built a very strong foundation for success. First thing we did was build a production facility that actually met human medical device standards. It wasn't required in the animal side. We're ISO 5, 7, and 8 certified. Next, we needed to bring a production team that had a proven track record. Josh Wilhelm has multiple years of rolling out large human medical device manufacturing, Medtronic, Schultz Diabetes, and we brought in a team that has that experience. So now we can establish scaling and having gross profit margins north of 70%. So the next thing we did was bring in marketing expertise. We brought in Russ Sickle. He's got over 40 years experience in senior marketing director positions with Zoetis Animal Health. Well, Zoetis is our animal health now. And Boehringer Ingelheim, the number 1-2 player in the world. And then the third piece we needed was sales oriented. So Mark Middleton is our director of sales. He was president of Animal Health International. And that company went from like 10 million to eventually hitting 800 million a year in veterinary sales products. And if you look at our public filings, in the last 4 months, we have pulled some very senior level regional sales managers of the biggest players in the world. Paula joined us in September. She was at Zoetis, probably managed a couple hundred people. Rachel Schumacher came from Covetrus, which once again managed a couple hundred people. Cliff Smith, Merck Animal Health. David Gregory, I forgot what David Gregory was, but he was with one of the larger companies, but they all have 25 to 40 years experience. And then if you look at our veterinary doctors in-house, Dr. Joe Manning was at Merck for multiple years, where he put the FDA protocols together on products that were billions of dollars, and he did the service support for the sales reps. And then Dr. Ann Zeser, former president of the Wisconsin Veterinary Association for Small Animals. So everybody kept saying, you're hiring these really seasoned experts. We just don't see them going in the field and driving and making calls. Well, we couldn't tell the street that we were about to land an exclusive distribution partnership with the number 1 distributor in the world, MWI. So just in the United States, they're in the 90% of all veterinary clinics. They do $5 billion a year in sales in that space. Their parent is AmerisourceBergen, an ABC ticker symbol. They're a top Fortune S&P 50 company. And it's not only a distribution agreement. They have to hit certain minimums to maintain for 3 years, but they're truly a partner. They have an educational arm called Sequire, which gives continuing veterinary medical education credits. They do demonstrations on certain procedures and so on, and they'll be using Spring, our product. Because our product is so disruptive, there's a little lag time between usage and adoption. Because when veterinary doctors come out of vet school, they learn that once they diagnose osteoarthritis, it's a lifetime multimodal treatment. They start with NSAIDs, and then they use hyaluronic acid, they use stem cells. All those procedures are focused on treating the symptoms. They really don't address the root problem. Ours addresses the root problem. Upon injection, it forms a matrix, and we can show through high-end microscopes that these particles go into the area where cartilage used to be and fill in that space.
Wow.
And then it functions just like a wet sponge. So when the dog's running or jumping, it's wet. So it's actually lubricating the joint.
Wow.
What cartilage is supposed to do. So when you look at the trends in the vet industry, vets are trying to use less and less pharmaceuticals. With the use of Spryng, dogs, we're seeing definitely reduction, if not elimination, of the need of NSAIDs. Second, product is naturally derived. The basic proteins are collagen, elastin, and the carbohydrate is heparin, building block of human cartilage, and animals too, obviously. Third, it's made in Minnesota. All of our sourcing of materials is right in the United States, so no supply chain issues. Fourth, we're very ESG oriented. 97% of our packaging is fully recyclable. The syringe is the one that isn't, and it goes in the sharp. There's no choice.
It is an injectable.
Oh yeah, it's an intra-articular injection only sold to veterinary doctors.
Wow.
They do the injections.
That's
because it's hard for an individual to figure out where in the joint to inject.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So the vets also like that because like with other prescriptions now, 90% of prescriptions are being filled by a Chewy or a Petco. They take a picture and it's 60% less than what they would pay at the vet. Here, the vet doesn't have to worry about that because FDA requires them to track the lot number and everything. So we're excited about the partnership. We're excited about the launch. MWI is our customer, and basically we started shipments in October this year and multiple distribution centers, and the sell-through has been really good. They already reordered at multiple distribution centers, so we're very excited.
Yeah, I think if pet parents can opt for a non-invasive, non-surgical procedure to help the life expectancy of their pets, I think that's a tremendous benefit.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Also, from a cost standpoint, a general joint's probably charge $600 for a procedure. The lowest end NSAIDs that requires you to give a pill twice a day is $400 a year. So we're a major cost savings. Plus, we're giving much better medical outcomes. Also, we're looking at a situation where we're expanding the TAM. And what I mean by that is when a dog that's severely case of osteoarthritis comes in, there's two options. Put the dog down or do a $7,000 joint replacement. A lot of people can't afford that, so they put the dog down. We're able to extend the joint life for $600, $700, and you get to extend the quality of life of the animal for the next 1 to 3 years.
Wow.
That is very meaningful, and you're really creating a market that doesn't exist.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on and share with investors? Any other additional products? Sounds like you put together a great management and executive team so far. You have some good things in the pipeline. Anything else you want to touch on?
So just keep in touch with our website, www.petvivo.com, PETVivo. And then within there, there's actually springhealth.com, which gives very high technical detail for the veterinary professionals. And thank you very much for having me,
John, thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate you.